Welcome, witches.
I'm Candi.
And I'm Jen.
We're the Cornfield Coven. So today's story takes us to Illinois, to Bachelor Grove Cemetery. This is a cemetery in Bremen Township, Cook County, Illinois, in Chicago's southwest suburb. I keep taking us to Chicago. I feel like maybe I just need to go to Chicago and eat some pizza and...
There's a lot of shit in Chicago. The Great Fires. Oh, and I forgot, so I'm just going to stick it in here. What episode was it that we were talking about homeowners insurance? It was the Wisconsin death trap. Yes. Homeowners insurance. So if you have not listened to Wisconsin death trap, make sure you do that. This isn't a spoiler or anything, but it's one thing we kind of questioned, and I looked it up and forgot to mention it at the end of the episode. Homeowners insurance was a thing primarily to protect owners from fires.
And they were burning down their schools, homes,
yes,
family members.
And the reason that it was popular by the 1890s was because of the Great Chicago Fire of 1871.
Yes.
So that just brought that up. But yeah, I was just going to say, like, Chicago has a lot of shit going on.
Well,
like
the fire.
Mobs. St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah.
John Dillinger. Oof.
Yeah, there's a lot of
fun mob shit there we need to cover.
Right? So, this is in Cook County, Illinois, in Chicago's southwest suburbs. The cemetery is the setting for a number of ghost lore stories, which we've talked about. I just wonder, like, when you're passing and you're planning your funeral, do you tell your family, if you live in Chicago area, can you pick the least haunted cemetery to bury me in? Like, because it seems like each one they say, in Resurrection Mary's, like in this one, it's the most ghost story. I'm like, wow.
I mean, I think they're bound to all be a little.
Yeah, but it just seems like Chicago has more juice to keep them going.
Yeah. There's a lot of violent deaths in Chicago, so.
So it says here that the land surrounding Bachelor's Grove Cemetery was originally settled by English homesteaders who relocated to the area from New England, including Stephen Rexford. So this is kind of a little boring backstory, but most well known for the first wave of Anglo settlers around 1833. According to legal records, Edward M. Everton sold the property to Frederick Schmidt in 1864. Reserving and settling aside 1 acre of land for the use of a graveyard. That was nice they thought of that.
1 acre?
That's not that big.
I know, and
it's not that big.
So I live out in the country. I'm not going to say that R word because I can't. My mouth won't do that. RURAL. Those letters don't belong.
Rural.
I can't do it. So I live out in the country, and when I talk to people who live in big cities and stuff, they're always like fascinated that my property backs up to a cemetery, and I'm like, if you live out in the country in the Midwest, you're never more than 2 miles from a cemetery because they were set up
for families.
Well, for families, and because people couldn't travel very far when these cemeteries were first put together. This was in the 19th century, and you were traveling by horse. So if you wanted to be able to visit or even get there for a funeral, you had to have a cemetery close by. And so that's why you see them dotting the landscape of farmland every few miles.
Yep.
So, but it just, and I've seen cemeteries that are much, much smaller than 1 acre. But when I think of a Chicago suburb and 1 acre, I'm thinking of my school football field, my high school football field. And I'm like, that is itty. Like, that's not going to be in service for very long.
I mean, if a plague came through, it's full.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see. Where did it say? Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is widely considered the most haunted cemetery in America. The small, abandoned burial ground has witnessed vandalism, occult rituals, and mob dumps. Over 100 documented paranormal encounters, including phantom cars, a vanishing house.
Ooh, a house in the cemetery?
House. The White Lady. I wonder how many white ladies there are. And a mysterious orb that appears in broad daylight. 24 miles southwest of Chicago, down a trail off of the Midlothian Turnpike. I know I said that wrong, and I'm sorry. On the south side of the Rubio Wood Forest Preserve, say that 10 times fast, sits the small Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. It's the oldest cemetery in all of Cook County, with its first burial in 1834. Now, with that being said, I believe it being the first one because they sold it with the intent. And heck yeah, it has to be the oldest because they had to create more cemeteries because people die, people give birth, people have,
right.
Population grows.
The cycle of life.
It's the circle. Okay. The headstones are sparse due to decades of vandalism and poor upkeep. That's sad.
Well, that's not just sad, but like, what kind of karma are you bringing on yourself if you go disturb someone's head? I mean, we were talking about talking boards a couple of episodes ago, and like, no, don't mess with those. But this is like, you're not opening a doorway. You are provoking.
That's like knocking over grandma on the street.
Oh my god.
Like, you just don't touch.
Oof, no, you got bad things coming your way, man. You are negative in the karma.
And then what I want to know is it says poor upkeep. Now, I know older cemeteries that are full or almost full, they are upkept by locals, usually somebody who it's done on volunteer basis, mowing the yard, keeping the tombstones clean and trimmed.
Well,
was nobody wanting to like be respectful to history?
Well, I think they would have to. It has to be somebody who would be getting paid to do it, and I think if it's like a Catholic cemetery, then the church is responsible for the upkeep. But if it's like a public cemetery, I believe it's usually the county.
Yeah.
Or the city, depending on where it is.
They never have funding.
But for something like this, where the land was donated as part of a township, I would still think it would be the city's responsibility, but I don't know.
But also, what is with these headstones that people want to vandalize them? Like, is it somebody that was given a bad name? And people are like, ew! And destroying their tombstone? Like,
I think it's just kids being dicks.
Oh, see, that's
most likely.
Oh,
I don't know. That's awful.
Yeah. So sections of chain link fences still wrap around the perimeter, and a murky quarry pond sits to the northwest. It's kind of cool. Small toys. Oh, this one creeped me out. Small toys and trinkets litter the ground besides the gravestones of the infants. So people bring the infants' toys.
Like we've got vandals and we've got people why?
We got one far extreme to the other far extreme. I know I was listening to one of the an article about it, and my husband was on the other side of the room, and he kind of looked over at me, and I was like, let's go to a grave or cemetery. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And I was like, okay.
So visit them. But I'm not doing disrespectful shit. I'm not doing creepy shit. I in my head I have the meme from The Office, and it's Michael. Nope, like that.
Nope. So the super creepy atmosphere is only completed by dozens of ghostly sightings. So for fun facts, the name for this cemetery is a double reference to an influential family and the original settlement, as well as a group of unnamed men who lived there. So
Bachelors.
So I was like, monks, cult, orgy, like what? Did the town feel sorry for them and be like, yeah, these guys never got married, laid, or they were never. Well, let's name a cemetery after them. But so the last burial recorded was in 1989.
Oh, wow.
Which,
that's more recent than I thought it would have been.
Thank you. Because I was like, 1834 was the first, and 1989 was the last.
That's 150 years.
Yeah, unless the last person who was buried had purchased their plot
earlier,
years prior, so that they had a spot with their loved ones.
Okay.
But the cemetery was featured on an episode of Ghost Adventures in September of 2012.
Okay.
So that's an interesting episode to check into.
Yeah.
And last, most graves are unmarked due to the vandalism. So unless you have a map or a layout or the original blueprint of the cemetery, because they all have one, like my grandfather used to run one, and he penciled it out, and that's how they know where people are.
Map.
Yeah. So countless visitors have reported spooky sights and sounds since 1960. It was then when most of the original tombstones were defaced or trampled, but some of the were defaced, or some of the coffins had even been dug up, which was said to violently disturb the spirits and those buried there. Well, it pissed me off too. So
yeah, I mean,
where is it?
I don't know that I necessarily want to be buried. Like maybe I just want to be a tree or something. But like if you come after my headstone, I'm coming at you. Like I'm gonna haunt you,
right?
Real good.
So it was in the late 1950s, teenagers began using it as a lover's lane.
A cemetery.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like we were saying.
It's the Midwest. You're never
Buffy
far
the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she was meeting Angel, and maybe Spike was there, and she's like, hey, boo, let's smooch. So, and a hideaway to drink underage. Now, I'm going to embarrass myself, but like watching the Vampire Diaries, they go to this old cemetery, and that's where they party. So during high school,
I feel like I've seen that in other shows too. I haven't seen Vampire Diaries. I'm not like judging or anything. I'll watch it at some point, I'm sure. But
Dean and Sam, but then there's Stefan and Damon. It's like, thank you to the CW for the Brothers of Hotness. I mean, half the time the writing is bad and the vampire is bad. But who was watching it for the plot? Nobody. They were watching it for Damon to take his shirt off and dance in the rain. That's all I'm saying. I watched it. Supernatural. Yeah, great storylines, but it was for Dean in those pants. I mean, let's just say. This led to vandalism over the next 2 decades. So it started in the 50s. Teens smooching, drinking, dancing.
Okay.
Many stones and monuments were toppled, broken, defaced, and even stolen.
So that's the Michael Myers shit right there.
That's putting it in somebody's front yard. Some coffins were even dug up and ransacked. So we've got the jewel thieves. But I mean, look at that guy today, stealing bones, selling them on Facebook Marketplace.
The grave robber.
In 1975, the cemetery's last individual owner, Clarice Fulton, approached the Cook County Board about taking charge of it. He wanted their help to restore and maintain the grounds, especially after the last 15 years of careless destruction. Bachelor Grove Cemetery.
So it was like an individual property owner? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stepped up and was like, this is not fair. This place needs some respect.
But he's like, I own this, but I can't maintain it. But it's not fair to the loved ones of those who are buried there. Yep. But I mean, I get it. I can't imagine how much it costs to upkeep a cemetery, and if you're just a person, like, I don't know. I don't have enough money to do the upkeep of a cemetery.
Well, I mean, and like here in this note, it was like during the 70s, cemeteries gained fame among ghost hunters and legend trippers for claims that this cemetery was haunted. Due to its secluded location, young partygoers frequented the site, leading to significant vandalism of the graves. Consequently, few original markers remain. For more than 200 burials dating from 1840 to the early 1960s, with the last one being in 89. According to Mr. Bettenhausen, president of the Tinley Park Historical Society, kids start going there to drink and party. They leave their trash behind, and you get the scary stories told around the campfire or what you have. This is where legends start. But not only are they destroying tombstones, digging up graves, and let's just leave our crap and litter and all behind. So not only does it look bad with destruction, it's dirty.
Oh.
So, with maintenance deferred to their forest, it says, so Bachelor Grove Cemetery was officially county property in 1976.
Okay.
With maintenance deferred to their forest preserve district. So now they have a determined and destined group taking care of it, which has also implemented police patrols after sunset due to detour and stop more vandals. Now, most cemeteries,
it is illegal, at least in the state of Iowa, it is illegal to enter a cemetery after sundown.
Yeah. The gates close if there's gates, or, let's see. Oh, so today, as the sign on the post by the trail's head of Turnpike reads, the cemetery is open from sunrise to sunset. After dark, it is heavily patrolled by police to deter vandals and vagrants at the request of Cook County. During the daylight hours, feel free to bring your phone, take all the pictures and videos you would like to see if you can catch any of the numerous spirits. So this brings me...
But you said there was a Ghost Adventures episode on this, right? So they do make exceptions, because I'm sure they didn't do their investigation during the day.
You've got to get your permits or your permission and stuff like that.
Okay.
But also,
interesting.
If you think about that, doing an episode, I bet that brings awareness to the cemetery and to the county, and it makes you wonder if people give donations to help maintain, restore. Yeah. Because there are groups out there that do that, and...
Yeah, I would hope that it would, and that it would not bring in more troublemakers. I mean, it's always going to bring in some troublemakers. Yeah. We're troublemakers. Hi, it's us.
But we're not defacing.
No, we are not. If we were to try to visit a cemetery at night, which I'm not putting past us, it's very possible.
I would be cleaning something. I would be over there pulling shrubs or, pulling weeds. And you'd be like, Candi. And I'd be pulling out, a spray bottle of cleaner from my back pocket. Because I'm just that weird person.
But if we were to do that, we would go through the correct channels.
But that's just being respectful.
And Candy's cleaners would be confiscated at the gate, I'm assuming.
They would. They'd be like, that's vodka. No, it's not. So.
Spoiler alert, it might be vodka.
It might be vodka. So here are some of the ghost sightings and lore. So, the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove was also known as the Woman in White. I can't help but think of Madonna, like a virgin, when I hear the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove, the Woman in White, or White Lady.
Bad Catholic.
Bad Catholic. Has become one of the most iconic and mysterious ghosts associated with the haunting grounds of Bachelor Grove Cemetery. The first documented appearance of this ethereal figure was captured in a photograph taken by a group of paranormal investigators in 1979. Through her presence has been rumored been long before that. So they were out taking tombstone pictures, and they just so happened to capture this woman sitting on a tombstone.
Is that picture out there?
I don't have it on here, but I will have to we'll have to look. Which is amazing. How cool as a photographer to get something. But also, if you remember, this is before digital era. This is film. So then it's always like, oh,
well, that's not it. I clicked on the image on Google and it betrayed me.
But this is before digital. So if they caught it, it's an actual woman, or is it an orb, like a sun glare? But how cool is that to have a young woman in white?
Yeah, it looks like a real person.
See,
though, I will say,
I wonder. So it says, so in 1979, another photograph was taken by a group of amateur ghost hunters exploring the cemetery. Showed a figure dressed in a flowing white hooded robe. Okay, Lord of the Rings. Carrying what appeared to be a baby in her arms. The image immediately drew attention from both the paranormal community and the skeptics due to the striking detail of the figure in contrast to the dark, desolated cemetery. The figure in the photograph is said to have a soft, almost glowing appearance set apart from the rest of the scene, which was covered in a veil of shadow and fog.
Ooh.
That's
a little sinister.
Yeah, but did the mother and the baby die of, like, at childbirth, and like she's eternally? I mean, at least they're together.
Yeah, at least they're together. I mean, I hope it's her baby.
Right? So, as the years passed, more sightings of the woman in white were reported by those visiting the cemetery. However, in these later sightings, the ghost was no longer seen holding the baby. Instead, she was often described simply wearing a white dress, wandering through the cemetery with a lost, melancholic expression. Some say that she walks among the gravestones as though she is searching for someone. Though, who or what she's looking for remains a mystery.
Well, she's looking for her baby!
Well, that's what
how does a ghost lose a baby? If it's a ghost baby.
And it was with her in the beginning. Oh my God, that lady needs some help. Oh. In 1991, infrared photograph, perhaps the most well-known and compelling evidence of the woman in white, came in 1991 when a group of Oak Lawn Ghost Research Society, wow, I'm getting these group names today, captured an infrared photograph that has since become one of the most famous paranormal images in history. In this image, the figure of the woman in white is sitting gracefully on a headstone.
Yes,
that's the one right
that's
there.
That's the one we've got, but
near the north side of the cemetery. She gazes out at the fence and trees beyond as though lost in thought and waiting for something. Is it one of the paranormal investigators sitting there? The photo gained widespread attention after it was published, and many considered it to be definitive proof of an apparition. The image is clear and detailed with no obvious sign of manipulation. Some skeptics, however, have suggested that the image was staged, or that clarity of the figure could have been achieved through photographic trickery. Despite these criticisms, the photograph remains a central piece of Bachelor Grove legend.
I mean, I want to believe in it, but it's
really too clear.
There's nothing, I don't know, ethereal about it. I mean, she's not floating. You can see her feet. You can see the way she's crossed her legs. You can see the pattern on her dress. You can't really make out facial features, but her face is definitely, like, there.
Mm-hmm.
You can make out that her hair is light brunette and curly. I mean, it very much looks like a live human sitting there. But
it's just very too clear for me.
I wonder.
Well, it says
wonderments.
In addition to sightings of a woman in white, paranormal investigators have reported other unusual phenomena at the cemetery, including unexplained cold spots, strange noises, and fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures. These occurrences only add to the mystique of Bachelor Grove as one of the most haunted locations in the United States. So, every cemetery, I believe, has the spots, the noises,
Yeah.
the orbs.
You'd think.
So, the disappearing house.
Yes, tell me about the house.
Also known as the Phantom Farmhouse and the Magic House. I just get Magic School Bus stuck in my head.
I like Phantom Farmhouse.
I do too. Another common sighting is a white, one-story Victorian house with a porch swing and a picket fence around it. The house usually appears transparent with yellow-orange light in its windows that flicker as if lit from a candle. Many reports say that it shrinks away and eventually disappears when approached. Though a legend remains warning that
I'm sorry. I was processing. But so you walk into the cemetery and there's a house there. Mm-hmm. And then it shrinks down like a shrink ray. Like, does it become like a Lego size, but it's still a house, and then it just blips? Is that...
It shrinks away. So as you get closer, does it keep moving further in front of you, and shrinking? And eventually disappears when approached.
Now I'm going to Zoolander. How are they supposed to learn if they can't even fit inside the school?
Well, I'm thinking of the original Willy Wonka, where the house...
Yes.
Though a legend remains warning that if you do enter, you'll never be able to... Well, no shit! You can't get out because it's too small.
Wouldn't it just burst around you?
Alice in Wonderland? Do you do the arms out the windows?
Ooh, I like that.
Several records show various houses standing on or near the grounds in the past, though none of them resemble the disappearing house exactly. Whoever's house it was, it continues to be spotted in the cemetery to this day. On occasion, a strange mist is often seen around the building as it fades in and out of view.
So sometimes it fades in and out, and other times it shrinks.
Yeah, I'm like, are they smoking something when they're out there?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've
obviously
established that
since the partying 50s. And the. But
I need more information on this house.
Okay, my other thing is this cemetery is only 1 acre big.
Right.
How big is this house? I mean,
well, it shrinks. So
isn't it inflatable?
It's one of those little kids' playhouses.
Oh my god, it's a little Tykes.
Yes.
So another story was in 1870, a farmer was plowing a nearby field with his horse when the animal became startled. The farmer was caught off guard and having become tangled in the reins and then was dragged as the horse plunged into the adjacent pond in which they both drowned. The ghostly figure of both the horse and the man can be seen on the surface of the pond besides the cemetery, as well as on 143rd Street, just beyond it. I guess.
Well, sometimes he doesn't want to be standing on water. That's got to take a lot of their energy.
Let's Jesus have a turn.
Oh.
Oh wait, was that? Oh, that's Catholic school gone bad. The ghost of a large black and tan dog, is also sometimes seen sitting quietly at the cemetery's entrance, as well as running down the path where it inevitably fades into the thin air. Balls of blue and red light have been seen at various locations along the path in the cemetery, hovering and dancing around. Sometimes they are said to make...
Are stoned kids seeing police car lights? Is that what's happening?
Sometimes
right
they
now?
are said to make intelligent sorts of movement back and forth. Not stupid movements. Intelligent movements. Oh. But here, you said that. Are kids seeing... But also...
Because they're red and blue, and they go in a specific pattern. I'm just throwing it out there, y'all.
And why does everything disappear? The dog, the horse and the man, the house.
Well, that's what ghosts do, but also cop cars can drive away. So,
the orbs.
like maybe they're sitting there, the officer is sitting there watching the cemetery. He knows these kids are in here partying, but he can tell that they're not vandalizing anything. He's like, And then he gets a call because this is Cook County.
Yeah.
And he has to take off, so he flips his sirens on and then disappears, and the lights disappear.
Well, and another form I have, it says the lights mention the floating blue and red orbs that dance between the trees, often moving in an intelligent back and forth motion.
Like,
just like you were saying.
Like hoplites.
Oh my god. So the mob connection.
Oh yeah.
It's really short, but it says, touch on a darker history. Rumors that Al Capone's mob used the adjacent lagoon to dump the bodies during Prohibition. This history adds a heavy, oppressive energy to the site that many visitors report to feel immediately when they step on the property. And I could see that.
I mean, that tracks. But also, I guess I don't know how many bodies Capone hid. It really
Do we
seemed
truly
like,
ever know?
Well, I mean, it really seemed like most of the time he just left them out in the open and was like, yeah, I killed them. What are you going to do about it?
And wasn't Al Capone, didn't he have a home in Chicago?
His base was Chicago.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep, his whole base was Chicago. So we'll cover him at some point.
I hope so. Gosh. So, conclusion, a final resting place. Bachelor's Grove is a place where history and hauntings are inseparable. Whether it's the grief of a mother, who lost her ghost baby, or echoes of a violent past, the Grove remains a testament to the idea that some stories are too strong to be buried. If you ever find yourself on the path in Rubio Woods, remember, you may be visiting the dead, but at Bachelor's Grove, they are often the ones watching you. I have to say, if this is the most haunted or one of the most haunted places, I have to say they have the most characteristic, character ghosts.
I've never heard of a vanishing house. I can't get the
look
vanishing
more
house
into that.
out of my head.
Have you seen the vanishing house? Have any of you?
Have you heard of another vanishing house, or is this the only one?
Besides Alice in Wonderland, have you seen a shrinking house? I
don't know. Why is the house there?
And how did the lady lose her baby?
I don't know.
Did
if
the black
they were
dog
both
eat it?
Ghosts, I don't understand how they got separated in the afterlife.
Did the
I don't get it.
Did the baby ascend and the mom was like, I still did bad?
Why couldn't she go with it?
That's right.
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. If we have ghost friends out there, please go help that ghost lady find her ghost baby.
Cover for the baby. Oh, well, we appreciate you listening.
That was fun.
If you have any ghostly stories you would like us to investigate around the Midwest, shoot us a message. Go like and follow and share us with your friends. That sounded inappropriate, but
they'll get it.
They'll get it.
All right. Bye, witches.